Welcome to another episode of URC Chumps podcast, where your average chumps are giving their rugby reviews. Unfortunately, the other guys seem to have bailed work and aircons and stuff like that. But I've got Tim over here, he's come back from a 3 hour therapy session. uh, yeah, with some new ink on him. But Tim, how you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah, time for the weekend, bro. It's gonna be a good.
I am so stoked. There's a new restaurant that's just opened up here by me. I'm ready to go there. I'm going to go there, and then on Sunday morning again, I'm going in for the drinkers fight. But
Yeah,
yeah,
bro. Come on,
yeah,
drink. Shut up, drinkers with the sleep. Come on, brother.
yes. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie.
I want it, bro.
But anyway, yeah, as you can see, let's get into this episode right now. I mean, there's some twists and turns that have come out from this week, which we definitely need to talk about.
For sure.
Um, Especially with the first game of the weekend. Springbok team has been announced. However, there is talk that it could change tomorrow with Arceus Neyman coming into the mix and everything like that. But before we carry on, last week we announced after the Lions game that Nick White retired.
Yeah,
That was very short lived.
it was indeed, wasn't it?
I mean, as you can see, there he is at number 9, Nick White.
Well, you know what, bro? You might get your wish. He might now, on his last game for the Wallabies, get a puck slime.
Yeah.
So,
I
you
mean,
might just, as good as he was and as good as the play is, I think against us, we're a different animal. And I don't, he will get under a lot of our guys' skin. So it'll be interesting to see how we handle him. But I don't think it's going to be all his way. I don't think they're going to get as much front football. I don't think they're going to win the scrums.
yeah.
The lineouts were our lineouts weren't great either in the pre games. So lineout times, I'm interested to see what happens. Obviously, we've got the clash of the two titans. We've got Eben Etzebeth and we've got Will Skelton having a clash, and 100% they will collide and they will meet in a scuffle.
But
100%.
since you're saying that, let's go through the team that we definitely are hoping and supporting, being the Boks. Starting with Ox, Malcolm, and Volko. What a front row. Also, with
Yeah,
the news that Volko is coming back to the Cape as well, which is big news for Stormers fans.
huge.
Um, I've got a Bull supporter. He lives around the corner from me. He's like, oh no, he can't be going. We're like, no, no,
Well, I
we'll
mean,
take it back.
what did I say to you last season? We were desperate for a front row, and they've brought in the man mountain himself. The guy who makes every other rugby player look like a miniature version of himself. It is ridiculous. He makes Eddie Hall look small. You know what I mean? So
I'm the beast.
yes, I would love to see Volker Lowe stand next to Eddie Hall. I'd love to see the matchup there, actually. We should get a comparison on stats between those two because, my word, he is a.
I'm sorry, but I have to quote Creed right now with arms wide open. We welcome you to this.
And yes, you just got me to sing on a podcast. What a tune. What a tune.
Throw a few more brezes in there, and it could be the full song. But
Brother,
anyway,
brother, I make humming sound bad, so I apologize. I really apologize to our listeners. I was gifted with many things in my life, but singing was not one of my talents.
so you keep your day job so the others can sing.
Listen, I think people will pay me not to sing, so I actually could make out of standing on a street corner singing, and people will pay me just not to.
Yeah. Um.
But anyways, let's get back to what's important because I can promise you my singing's not.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and then we got Eben and Lut coming in. Lut, I'm a little bit concerned that he's hasn't been as the playing time that he's had over the time, but I'm not saying he is a bad choice. He is pretty good. a lot better with the Roanoke here,
You
especially when
must
you're going with
understand,
the
Yorker, you know what you're going to get with him. He's a solid player. He's coming back from a severe injury. He hasn't had a lot of
an
game time.
illness. Yeah.
But yeah, but he's a superb rugby player, and yeah, maybe he's still finding his feet a bit, but I back him 100%. He's a great rugby player.
I definitely do think we need to go with a very physical lock pairing, especially when you're looking at the likes of a skeleton who's like 140 kgs.
Well, you must understand, Skelton lasted what 60, 65 minutes against the Lions, right? And
With
that was
lightning, with the
with
lightning break.
a 30-minute pause, right? Now he's going to altitude. He's going to be playing against a South African pack of forwards, and he lasted 65 minutes with a 20-minute pause. How long do you think he's really got against a South African pack of forwards? 5 minutes after the first half, 10 minutes after the first half, if that, and by that time he's already drained, I think. So
Yeah.
it is. I mean, he's a wonderful guy to have in your team, but I can promise you, if he was in the South African setup, he would be in the bomb squad and not starting.
Yeah. Then moving on to our loose trio, we got Marco van Staden, Peter Steptoe with Sio Khaleesi. Khaleesi debuting as an 8 for the Springboks.
Listen, it's a solid loose trio. I think Sia will do perfectly fine at number 8. In fact, I think you have quite a good game at number 8 because it allows him to it frees up Khaleesi to handle the ball a bit more, get
Yeah.
more involved. As we've known, Sia is not the biggest guy, but he does carry the ball very strongly. He carries the ball nicely into contact. He's one of those players when he goes into contact, you almost know for 100% that ball's going to come back.
Yeah.
How often do you get Sia Khaleesi turned over? It doesn't happen.
I was actually just about to say that the way he falls in, I say fall into the tackle, but he braces in for that tackle, literally allows the ball to flow back to the 9.
He's technically very sound at the ruck
Yeah.
time. He knows what he's doing. He understands the laws of the breakdown. He also, if you watch Sia into contact, he's one of those guys who has that leg pump. He pumps and pumps and pumps until he hits the ground, and that allows him to almost have that second move because it's momentum, but
Yeah.
it allows him to have that second move to get him to place, which allows the forwards to get over the top. So Sia at number 8, I think it's going to be great. It's going to allow him to get more involved in the open play, and that's where he shines. So I think it's a good call.
Yeah. I mean, he has done it for the Sharks the previous season, so that's great.
But if you also look at our trio, it's a
Yeah.
very mobile loose trio.
Yeah.
And I think it's wise because against a team like Australia, they're going to run it. They're going to run everything at us. They've got nothing to lose. Everyone's expecting us to give them a hiding. So they're going to run everything at us. So
Yeah.
it's a really smart decision. We've got a really big front 3. Then we've got a really big lock combo. But then we've got quite a mobile loose
and solid.
And solid, of course. But it's quite mobile. Peter Steff, as we know, has got wonderful hands and he links perfectly. And he's a machine. His work rate undeniable. And Marco van Staden is just clip art. For our non-South African listeners, that it just means that man is as hard as rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to a very, how can I say, playmaking halfback pairing with Grant Williams and Marnie Libbok. I actually quite like the idea of the two of them together. Marnie with his...
I love it.
I love it. I don't see anything wrong. I mean, we will cover it a little bit at the end. Faisi has already said he'll put up his hand if the kicking duties need to be handed over. So, I mean, that covers...
We've got enough. We've got enough guys. There's enough guys who can kick for poles. Let me tell you. Even at club level, every single backline player can kick a bit. You know what I mean? So, but you know what I want to make a point about? You know what I love about that 9 and 10 combo? And this is not about the players more, but it's more about the coaching style. Russie's fighting fire with fire. He's saying to Australia, okay, we know you're going to come at us. We know you're going to run at us. So we're going to run back at you. And if you look at our side, we have got such a nice mixture between a really tough front five with a really beautiful combination and loose thought between solid brute force in Marco van Staden and someone like Sia, who's got those fleet hands, and then you got the workhorse of Peter Steff, and that's just going to combine so nicely with this back line. And we basically have picked Andre Estes, and who's a unit, but he's extremely agile. And then we've got Jesse Creel and Edwin van Merwe, who deserves a spot. Fassi, of course, excellent. And Kirtley is undeniably one of the best wings in the world at the moment, on form alone. So, our backs are looking absolutely dangerous. And with the front ball, I think we're going to get off our set piece. I think we are going to really nullify the Australian attack and defense at this stage. Obviously, they've got a superb 12-13 combination.
I was about to just say that. I was going to say, like, for me, the wingers that they have are pretty much straight runners. None of these sidestepping, which we kind of have. Though,
yeah, we've got
Lily and Ikatal.
No, but we've got completely different wings. Like we have got, I think Edwin van der Merwe is the closest wing we can relate to what they've got on their pitch. But if we look at Colby and Orange, these guys are completely different. A different rugby player, a different wing to the Australians, what they have on the field at the moment. However, if you look back into South Africa and a guy like Ruan Krombrink, remember him?
Yeah,
he was just gas and brute force, and that reminds me. He reminds me of the guys in the Australian team at the moment.
Yeah,
they are.
My money's still on Krombrink. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, if they get in front football and go forward ball, they're going to be very dangerous. The Australians on attack, as Darren said last week, and they've got fantastic hands, even in the wet. So, I'm Australia on their day. I think they're going to give us a good run for the first 30, 40, 50 minutes. But I think, as soon as the altitude kicks in, as soon as them fronting up to us physically starts overpowering them, when they have to make twice as many tackles as us and they have to run, rampant just at altitude just to stay in the game with us. After 16 minutes, that's when it shows, and I think that's when we'll start to pull away. And I'm expecting I think South Africa will be winning this by 10 to 15 points.
No, I agree with it. I mean, looking at the bench as well, we got Bongi, we got Jan Hendrik Wessels, Asanati Nabakanle, Sos, Kwacha, Corbus, Kanan, and Damien. My interesting thing I would like to see how is Rusty going to do the last three in a substitution manner, because Reinach we know is definitely coming on for Grant. But Kanan can cover wing and center. Damien can cover 10 center and fullback.
Personally, I think it'll be Caleb Moody going into outside center. And I think they're going to try the combination of Estes and Moody as a backup to Delende and Creel. And then Damien as a backup to Fassi. Obviously, with Willie starting to wind down his international career, more than likely, I can't speak on behalf of the player, but he's hit his 100 cap. Is he going to make next World Cup? Probably not. So I think he'll start to wind down his career now, in which case we need another backup for Fassi, because Fassi's already made that 15 shirt his own. And we need a backup. And Willemse is, I'm a fan. I know Jacques doesn't like him, but I don't understand why. I asked Jacques, do you not like him as a person, or do you not like him as a player? And he said as a person. And that's, okay, fair enough. But you got to respect him as a player, because that's what we're talking. We're talking about sports here. So, as a player, he can cover multiple positions. He can cover 10, 12, 15.
But in 2019, in 2019, he was actually being bred as the replacement for Frans Steyn.
Look, he Damien Willemse, I think if it hadn't been for Fussy having such a blinder, Damien Willemse would be our starting fullback. He's been
But also,
unlucky.
Williams has had injuries this
He's had
past season.
he's been
Yeah.
unlucky with injuries, and Fussy's really put his hand up and made that jersey his own. So Damien has to work for it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Competition brings out the best in people.
Mm. Yeah. But I mean,
Can I just bring up the fact that we are going to see the great James O'Connor back in a Wallabies shirt. I'm a massive fan of this. He is an absolute legend of the game.
1,000 days since his last game.
I'm a big fan of his. I think that's a mistake by Australia. I think it's a big mistake from Australia.
I almost think looking at him now, okay, when he was younger, I would have thought the way he was, I would have thought he would have played perfect at 10. I think he's a bit too much of a brute force right now for 10. I probably would have played him at 15. Because of
but Tom Wright's had such a good game at 15 against the Lions. How do you drop a guy after he had such stellar? So and O'Connor, he's played 10 at international level before. I would say at this stage in his career, he's probably a 15 more than a 10. But is he going to let the team down? No, not at all. He's a wonderful rugby player. So Nick White and him, that's a lot of experience between those two alone.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they were going for. I think they wanted some experience between the halfbacks, and those are the guys who are going to control the game. And I think he's really been smart about that. He's brought O'Connor in at the right time. Everyone thought O'Connor would come in for the Lions test. He didn't. They went with Liner.
Yeah, Liner. He's now injured.
He's now injured, but I think it's really smart. I think it's really, really smart. And I thought the number 6, Tom Hooper, had an amazing game against the Lions. Like, he was immense. Skelton was immense. Obviously the number 3, Tupou.
Yeah, Tupou. Yeah.
Yeah, great player. I mean, I think they'll front up. I think they'll come with everything they got. I think anyone who thinks this is going to be a 60 or a 50 point, or us going to them like we did last year with our B side and creaming them, that's not going to happen. That's not the same Wallabies side we're dealing with right now. Okay, they've got a superb coach, and this man knows what he's doing. And I think that the South African public have this sort of almost like a dreamlike state where they think that we're just going to keep pumping people by 50 points. And, this Australian team is most certainly not going to give away 50 points.
But, I mean, I'm looking at it. The one face-to-face I would love to see is McWright versus Quokka Smith. Very similar in stature, those two players.
But Quokka is a far better player.
No, yeah, of course. And I mean, unfortunately, when Quokka comes on, if he's still on, he's going to be literally finished and everything. Like, it's not really going to be a fair fight.
And Harry Wilson is someone we will have to watch his runs. He's a massive ball carrier for them. So between him and Skelton and Tupou, they're ball carriers. And I think I can't see, but Valentine is still injured, yeah?
Yeah. Valentini, Rob Valentini is still out. I think he might be in next week. I do know that is why Nick White is back in the team, is because they're still reeling from injuries from the Lions test and everything. It looks like they're going with a bit of a 6-2 split. They're trying to pull a South African move against South Africa because they're 22 Tate McDermott and Callaway.
You would have to front up against South Africa. You have to take an extra forward.
Yeah. But we'll see. But I mean, while we were talking about it, I mean, these are kind of the current stats head to head between the two. We've played them 95 times. We've won 52. We've lost 40 and drawn 3. It's almost a 300 points difference in our favor. Try scored again. It's another like 50 odd. The biggest win for us was 53-8. The highest score was a 61-22 in 1997. Our win rate is at 54.7, which is better than most international countries. The first five-win streak against the Wallabies in 50 years was at one venue. And please understand that it's at one venue, not constantly. Um, Even Etzebeth extends his record to 134 caps, which is phenomenal, joint 10th all times globally. Sears at 94 caps, only six away from 100, which we could see at the end of the year if things go well for him. We've never lost to the Wallabies at Ellis Park, and this could stretch our unbeaten run here to 7 matches, which at an individual ground is quite good. We still need to get to 19 to at least knock New Zealand out of second place. And the starting caps is 725 for us. Backs have a 180, averaging 26 per player, but our forwards are averaging 68 per player with 545. Bench is averaging 39 with 312 caps. I mean, that just says experience all the way through.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we do have some young guns in there, but I mean, if you have the young guns, but you have the experienced players with them to tell them, hey, like, listen, do this, do that. It's great.
Yeah, at the moment we've got a very nice mixture between the two. We really,
Yeah.
really do.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find any of the teams for the next two games, but I do have some stats for the Pumas versus the All Blacks in Argentina.
I'm very see what happens here.
Yeah. Listen, I was looking at those comparisons of the two. I mean, with the fact that New Zealand has played them 38 times and won 35 and lost 3. But those last 3 have come in the last 3 tournaments.
Yeah, I mean the Pumas are obviously improving. They're getting better, and I'm so shocked that they have yet to beat the All Blacks at home.
No, they did beat them at home last year.
Did they beat the
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
But I think you know.
Oh, at their home. At their home is different. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I was watching the breakdown, and they are so arrogant, and they're talking about this game that basically they're not looking at Argentina as a threat. They're not looking at Australia as a threat. They're basically just saying South Africa in New Zealand. That's what this whole tournament's about, and they're expecting to beat us twice.
But look what happened to them last time when they did that. They did the same thing about New Zealand. France. And you look at what happened there.
They've completely written the Pumas off in New Zealand, and I'm shocked by that because I most certainly would not write the Pumas off. Certainly not at home. Certainly not at home. And
We're lucky. We're not playing them at home this year.
They come out firing. Oh, they've just beaten the Lions. They beat England. Oh, no, they lost to England. They got thumped by England, actually.
Yeah. But, I mean, we against them are lucky because our game against them is at Twickenham.
Which is a second home for us.
Yeah, yeah, got all the expats. But yeah, I think we got lucky with that one that they agreed to that, which
certainly it's basically we've got 2 home games in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, Twickenham, I was there for the England game. You should have seen how many South Africans were there.
No, I know. But I was talking to my brother-in-law because we were talking about the fact that people are complaining about the ticket prices.
Yeah, I mean they're ridiculous.
They are ridiculous. However, he said, look at the comparison though. Look at how much a ticket costs to sit in the main section and everything. He says if you take that price and you convert it into a game at Twickenham, you are sitting right at the top. So what would be our 800 Rand tickets? Literally a 3,000 Rand ticket. with the currency conversions.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't do that, bro,
Yeah. No, but
because we're not earning the same. Like I earn my euros. I can't translate what I earn here into rands and then go
yeah,
and doesn't make you can't do that because what I earn here is completely different what I earn in South Africa doing the same job.
but now you say that, all right, and it's a very fair point what you're bringing up. But that is what Saru is using as ammunition. They say like, but what you would pay in rands for that seat there,
Yeah,
you actually winning with us.
by by sheer logic they can't use that
They
as a
have.
but by sheer logic they can't because if you translate what I'm earning into rands and then you go and put me in the same job in South Africa, I will be making 3 or 4 times the amount here than I would in South Africa, which means I can afford those tickets. But I can't
But
if I'm the same job in South Africa. If I'm doing the same job as I'm doing here in South Africa, I'm making a fourth or a fifth of what I'm making now doing the same work.
yeah, no. Listen, your point is very valid, and I do agree with you with that. Unfortunately, that is the logic that's been thrown at it, and everything. People are saying you need to make it worthwhile for South Africans and
Bro,
everything. Yeah,
just to relate, do you know how much it is to buy Munich here? Allianz Arena, 80 euros a ticket. Okay, 80 euros. The rands is what 20 21. So let's just take 20 best case scenario. So
yeah,
it's 1,600 rand a ticket.
yeah.
You know, can't translate it like that because me 80 euros. Well, that's not too bad. You know, but if I translate it,
It's
1,600 rand.
terrible.
Are you crazy? You
Yeah.
can't do that. Do you know what I mean? So
No,
for sorry to say, yeah, but overseas they charge that. It hello, where's your logic, bro? Because I'm
yeah.
getting paid 5 times the amount as the guy doing the same work as me in South Africa.
No, hundreds. But I mean, you're talking about people being upset. Right now, all Stormers supporters are a bit. Uh,
Uh, Self included, bro.
but yeah, if you don't know, this is what we are talking about right here.
That's
Let's make it war,
no, man, I'm seeing things.
That was what was released to go from this to this.
Like, the more I look at it, it's not horrendous.
That's the thing is like I have seen it. Like the first time I saw, it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But I heard a rumor from the back that there's actually more to it. Did you pay attention to the jerseys carefully?
I wasn't looking at the jerseys. I was looking at the players to see if I could spot any new signings. Oh
All right, just look there.
yeah, they got the writing. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see what's missing? There's two things missing on the jersey.
Wasn't it DHL?
The one, no, DHL was there. The one was the logo. The other one, there's no BLK.
Yeah. But I've heard rumors for a long time about this.
Now, as far as I understand, there cannot be any shirt announcement until the end of the Curry Cup, which you are currently playing, which is under the BLK logo.
Yeah.
Anything like that can only be announced at the end of Curry Cup. So,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. I wasn't a big fan of uh of BLK.
Listen, I'm pretty stoked because when I looked at it, I was like, hey, look, I've actually got the first jersey that came out, and I got the last jersey that came out from BLK. First one that I got was the Thor one.
Yes, I've got that too.
The first one, not the second one, the first one, the one with the red back.
Yes, I've got that one.
Okay, yeah. So that was the first one plus the home, but I think that one's more important than the other one. And then I got the last one, which is the one with all the Stormers' names from the past. Their name is written on the jersey.
I've the strongest one I've got is one with the mountain on the back
Yeah.
because, but I've got the away one, the black one. Um, yeah, because I got it because it's got the mountain and very homely.
No, I had the choice of that one, or I had the choice of the hooped one, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go with the hooped one because it's
I
more.
probably
If,
if I had a choice, I would have gotten the hoop one, but it was kind of a gift, so.
yeah,
But I'm very happy with it, very chuffed with it. So
yeah. So there, you could also say you got the first and the last one.
yeah, 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 I suppose so.
Yeah, it makes it even a little bit more special. The time that we had with BLK is now officially over, or could be over. Uh,
Let's not jump the gun. Yeah, we might get sued.
yeah, it's only speculation because the name was
That's
taken off. That's it's logic.
probably like looking money. Be careful.
Yeah. But anyway, talking about that and everything, I've been following the transfers and everything like that. So what we've decided to do is we're going to split it up over 3 weeks. We're going to start off with just the SA teams. From the SA teams, we'll go to Irish teams and hopefully get Dara in when we do that one. And then we'll
Definitely
go
would
to
go for that one. I would
yeah,
think that would be a definite must. We
yeah,
would go around around him with that one.
and see how he feels about some of them. But I mean, right now this is the Bulls lineup that's being released as of now. Please, it could also change still. But players in being Marvin Ari, the Stormers player who is went to Perpignan and now has come back for the Bulls. Jean-De Rudolph, freaking awesome player. We were having a talk about him on
Yeah, is
Sunday.
that
I do believe the problem is he's a great player, but I do just think he came in a bit too late in his career, peaking. But we never know. We could be another Dion Fourie. Um, Janssen van Rensburg back from Montpellier. Paul de Vet, a loss for the Stormers. Andre Pollard, what a great signing for them to have. Serfontaine, again, another great signing.
that is a wonderful thing for South Africa rugby to have Serfontaine back.
Yeah,
He he's one of those players who was super underrated. I don't know. I know he did play for Springboks a couple of times, but he should have gotten more game time. He's a wonderful rugby player. It's a great addition to the Bulls rugby team.
yeah.
Uh, Bulls going to be dangerous, that's for sure.
Kurtley's back from his time in
Japan.
Japan. Henry Immelman is on loan from the Immelman is on loan from the Sharks. Willie Leroux has extended his contract. I'm not too sure for how long, but he's still in. The players out is Matazima, who's gone to the Sharks.
Yeah,
Nivot, who's gone to the Cheetahs. Bernard van der Linde, scrum half, has gone to Bath. Then, of course, gone during the season is Katu Mtunu, who's gone to Japan, to Sagamihara. Miller Ace, who's gone to Kamashi. Curly Arnser, who we know has gone, but he's
Then come
back.
back already. Great. And Ingham,
And Immelman, he went to the Sharks and he's back from the Sharks. But anyway, yeah. Let's go next being the Lions. There was one team I had to look at that was a bit concerning, but anyway. As you can see, 5 in, 4 outs with 8 extensions. Players in Blom from Griquas, Rukani from Sharks, Chris Smith.
Chris,
If I'm not mistaken, is the one we are thinking about. Let's just have a quick look.
as in Christmas. Yeah, Chris Smith.
Yeah,
Ah,
he went from the Bulls, he went to Onyx, and now he's back.
good. Good
Yeah,
player.
and he's playing for the Lions. That could probably also explain why we didn't get that youngster from Ikey's playing in URC. But anyway, Cater from the Sharks, Angelo Davids, another Stormers player who's left.
David. Yeah, good player.
Yeah, but contract extensions: Namakanye, Skuman, PJ Botha, Kotza, Frankie Horn, Henko van Vyk, and then from the academy being Mills and Muku. Players out is Ruan Straley, who's went into retirement, obviously due to injuries. Marius Lowe, who's gone to Sale. Edward van der Merwe, who's gone to the Sharks. And Nohamba, who's still with the Blue Ravens in Japan.
So what does that mean for Mpimpi?
Mpimpi.
Yeah, I mean, what does that mean for Mpimpi that Edwin's gone to the Sharks? They got Hooker, Edwin. What does that mean for Mpimpi? He's been dropped by South Africa.
Number 10 on the list there for contract extensions.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah, I'm with you. This is the one that is a little bit of a concern for me because you see, there's only 2 players in while 10 players have gone out. I think that's probably also why Mpimpi has stayed on. There's 1 or 2 backline players that have gone off. So
yeah, but
yeah,
Mpimpi, he can only play really fullback wing.
Not even fullback, but anyway, yeah. But the players in is Matsima from the Bulls and Enwolf van der Merwe from the Lions. But again, that literally covers that one. Immelman, who's out. Yeah, but contract extensions being Oxnoche, Patu Ganye, Ethan Bester, the Zimbabwean Tino Mavrezre, I think that's right. Vincent Tutuka, Johannes Potgieter, Nick Hatton, Bradley Davids, Ethan Hooker, and Mpimpi. And then the players out is Ntuku Mtunu, who's gone to the Stormers as cover for Kickoff. Krobler, James Fenter, who's gone off to Gloucester, which is a big loss. Dylan Richardson, obviously because he's playing for Scotland, has gone off to go play in Edinburgh. We'll definitely see more of him because he's going to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Flakani, who's one of the academy players from the Sharks, who's gone over to the Lions. Cater, as we said, Lions. Immelman, he's in this thing all over because he's back and forth between Sharks and Bulls. Gone during the season. Renica looks like it was injury forced. Jean-Andre Labaskachny has gone over to Japan. And Cameron Wright, who's gone over to Onyx. And then last for this week, as you can see, 9 in, 12 out, and 7 contract extensions. Hinkus van Wyk from the Cheetahs has come in as also another prop cover for the Stormers from the Cheetahs.
Not a bad find.
And Tunu, who's also one of the guys that they immediately signed as soon as Kitty retired. RJ Smith, who is also on the list out, he went for a loan period, but he's back. Ruan Ackerman, the shock for me, considering the fact that his dad's now at the Bulls. But yeah, Kobus Reinach, fantastic signing.
Yeah, great player.
Look, yeah. And then the next few are from the academy, being Zach Horton, uh, Devon Fuller, Assad Moose, and Kyle Smith, who was the backup fly half for the under 20 World Cup. So he's definitely got a good head on his head. Because when he came on, there was no problem and stuff. The contract extensions being for Shear, Ntabeni, Murat, Fari, Marabi, Similani, who I'm glad he carried on with his
Yeah,
ah, and JC Mars, who is also one of the guys from the under 20s, so that's great. Players out being Brock Harris with retirement. Dweber, who's gone over to Exeter. I don't know if you've seen the training videos from Exeter with him in it.
no.
Dude, if you have a chance, you need to go look on social media for those. Those look insane. It makes you want to go hit the gym.
Ah,
Dave Evers, who's also gone into retirement. Herschel Yankees, who's gone over to France, to Bayonne. Paul DeVet to the Bulls. Marnie Lubbock has gone over to Japan.
yes, we lost. We
And
lost good backs. Yo,
yeah,
backs.
the thing is, with him going to Japan, I would have actually liked to see Andre Pollard cover for him. But anyway, yeah. Angelo Davids, who's gone over to Lions, and Ben Loader, who's gone back home. And then during the season, we lost Kickoff to retirement. RJ Smith, but as you see, he's back in. Billy Engelbrecht, who's gone back to the Pumas, and Clayton Bormakis, who's now playing for the Cheetahs.
Come back to the Cheetahs. He spent
Yeah,
many seasons there.
yeah. Uh, I mean, yeah, some of them. I'm glad Similani did carry on. I know there was talk about the fact that he might be leaving, and I do find him a very exciting player when he gets his opportunities and he gets his hands on this ball, on the ball. Um, yeah, but I would like to see what happens. I would like to see how Ron Ackerman slots in as well because I do
Oh,
like him as a player.
we starting to get some real players now. You know, with Pumas and Ackerman. You know, we're starting to look like a proper decent team now. So interested to see how the season goes. Although we've lost our fly off, that'll be interesting to see who covers there. Maybe the youngster from the under 20s. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be a good season. I think it's going to be a. I think the second sides, the Bulls and the Sharks are stacked. They are stacked. So it'll be interesting to see how the second sides do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to remember the guy's name who is playing for Western Province and everything like this. It just trying to find his name. Shit, his name's completely slipped my mind. Lordy above. He played for Stormers last year, and I actually kind of rated him as quite a good player, and I actually loved. I think he's got a great future ahead of him, and everything. Yuri Mati.
What's
I
next?
do. Yuri Mati. Mati.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, he debuted against Leinster. I mean, yeah, we lost the game, but here's his match card province. Um, he's got a decent head on him and everything like that. He's still young. He's
He's
still got,
tall.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
I think,
He's got a sort of a by his height and weight, he's got sort of a high Pollard build.
yeah,
Yeah, that might be a good find, that.
yeah.
Yeah,
He played last year for us, and I mean, he did pretty well. I mean, it was his debut season last year, and for his debut, I actually thought he did pretty well. I mean, once he gets more under the skin and everything, he could become a real star.
yeah.
And
Yeah. South Africa's got such talent at the moment, man. I was just watching. I watched last weekend. I was just lazing around and I watched some of the Curry Cup stuff. We got some real talent there.
Did you see your Weinberg boy scoring his debut try in his debut game?
Well, what can you say?
Yeah. Literally came on. Zane Davids got injured. Literally came on like 5 minutes later. There he is, falling over the line.
Yeah, well, team always floats to the top, my friend.
Actually went up to him. I actually congratulated him when I saw him the other day. I was like, "Hey, well done." He's like, "Oh, thanks." I said, "Unfortunately for the result," but I said, "Hey, take the positive. You scored on your debut game. Now you're gonna go score on your next one."
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah. I'm so amped for this weekend. I am probably gonna be so broken when it comes to Monday because it's gonna be a late night on Saturday because of the Argentina and All Blacks game. And then early rising to go watch Chickas take on.
Yeah, buddy.
So
100%.
if I look like a zombie next week, you know why, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm probably singing "Where's Your Head at, Russie, Russie." I annoyed Dara a little bit more with that one.
Yeah,
Uh,
we pirate that one, but okay, that's true South African style. So no.
yes. I won't give a lame ass joke this week because I don't think this week deserves one of those.
No, I was gonna ask you where we at with the joke, bro. We started
No,
this.
no one's giving me jokes. That's the problem. So I will
Guys,
ask Chat.
guys, if you are listening, please won't you just drop a joke in here? Kirby's feeling exceptionally sad about this. So can you just please lift his spirits up, drop in a nice joke, make it rugby related.
Oh.
Yeah. But let's see what you got for us this evening.
Okay, it's not a rugby joke. It is a bit of a play on words.
Okay,
It
let's
is
go.
it is a bit funny, and I'll read it. I hate it when people act all intellectual and talk about Mozart when they have never seen one of his paintings.
See, I laughed. It got
Yeah,
me. It got me. So yeah.
yeah. So if I get lame ones from ChatGPT, I'll look for some funny meme or something like that, and I'll say that one now.
Hey man, you won 1 for 3. You're 33%. So
And Jacques, I'm 100%. So it depends on the. But anyway, guys, fellow champions, please remember to leave a like, share this, subscribe. If you are not subscribed, leave a comment. I'm enjoying the comments. I see one of our shorts hit 2,000 views the other day on YouTube, so that's great. Let's keep the ball rolling. Let's keep growing bigger and bigger, guys. And thanks very much, Tim. Thanks very much for joining. Let's
no
go rugby. It's going to be an awesome week this week
let's
for
go.
rugby. Yes. And I think also the Proteas are also playing as well this weekend, especially after Brevis hits a 125.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for listening and joining us to this episode. Tim, thanks very much. Let's go rugby. Have a good one. Cheers.